Ну что, всем привет. Продолжаем мы сегодня диско Elysium. И я надеюсь, что мы уже близки к финалу. Новое стекло сияет в лучах утреннего света. Заменили стекло, да? Дверь открыта, можно зайти в номер Кима. О, неплохо. Короче, все починили тут в номере. Что в номере Кима есть? Будильник на 6:50. Отчет.
They appear to be fragments of the lieutenant's paperwork, half finished. You may have notes on this and other recent cases.
Так.
I had Garth open the door to your room. You were running a low bacterial fever the first night. Back there on the plaza, I think you very nearly had a heart attack. Alcoholism.
Так, и через эту дверь мы теперь не можем, да, все равно пройти. Чё за бред? Так, не знаю, на балкон нужно ли нам или нет. Так, а чё у нас по журналу-то? Смотрите, окно в спальне Класье. Откуда был сделан выстрел? Нога болит. Она оставила что-то на столе. Ну, давай возьмем тогда, что мне лишние надписи выводите. Записка, несколько строк крупным, неровным почерком. Подарок.
I am not drawing my gun yet, but I don't like gifts.
Just don't walk into another radio trap, okay?
It's hardly surprising.
Ну, пойдем наверх, посмотрим, что там за подарок она оставила. Ну вот тут что-то есть, почему я не могу выбрать? Что за прикол, блин? Какая-то веревка натянута. Может, туда нужно пройти на крышу, на саму? Что-то, блин. Что за хрень? Почему, блин, есть такие места, которые я не могу посмотреть? Не места, а предметы какие-то. Вещи. Красная нитка нейлонового ведет в номер. Ну конечно, ну мы же видели. Больше тут ничего нет. Стой, 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 мысли, мысли.
As you look back, you think, so love did do him in, after all.
Она, наверное, провела нить по траектории выстрела.
If it weren't for her, he would not have been there. Of course you do, Harry. Everyone does.
Все, тут больше ничего нет. Пойдем в номер. Что за бред? Надо было мимо нити пройти, выйти на балкон, тут посмотреть, потом вернуться. Ой. А теперь... я все равно не могу ее посмотреть.
Yes?
Нормально вообще, блин.
You see the same two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman. Only now a red thread
Красная нить,
crescents the
ведущая от
moon,
антенны
pointing
крыши к
from
серванту у
This is
стены.
ballistics. She's left a trajectory for us.
A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside, A prime, to then widen. It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles, from a point to the island in the bay.
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. It is where the thread seems to point. She was there that night. She would have known precisely where the bullet hole.
She had a long time to think about it after.
It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. The question is, should we trust her? I find that hard to believe. But at this point, what difference does it make? So it is.
For a second he seems tired.
Of course. I mean, how do we get there? Judge Mercier had a sloop, but she's gone. Ah, yes, of course. The village.
Отлично. И все равно я эту точку не могу посмотреть. Бредятина какая-то. Зачем вы ее сделали тогда, если она не нужна? Ну, допустим, у нас есть какой-то остров. Приплывем мы сейчас на него. Может, там наш убийца спрятался. Так. О, там уже ребята не все сидят, естественно.
Oh, it's you. Didn't think we'd see you walking anytime.
Huh?
Чё это? Я вас защищал наоборот.
He's very...
Our condolences for your losses.
What's gonna happen to the Hardy boys? Look around you, man. This shit is done. No, man. I don't know. I guess the Union will still be policing the neighborhood, but who's gonna do it now? Tiberius, he don't want to get mixed up in our shit. But he's got his window fitting business, a wife with 2 kids, and a 3rd one on the way. No way he's gonna leave. Does he look like he's...
He does not. His unshaven face. While still alive, he has abandoned his own body to decomposition.
He wasn't. That's the thing. Titus, Theo...
There's nothing left.
This is a broken man. He probably feels that he should have been able to protect others from harm. And now he feels guilty for not dying with them. I'm not suggesting much. All I'm saying is, he lost everything.
The eyes looking back. He's not gonna get over it.
Yeah, you too. It's a rough world out there. It's not easy. Both of you. We shouldn't have fucked with you like we did. You got between us and a lot of bullets in that fight. Matinees owes you one.
That's kind of you to say. Take care of your friend, okay?
I will. You take...
A sharp pain shoots up your side and into you.
Ну ладно. Все-таки он нормально с нами поболтал. Почему он трусом нас назвал, тогда я понять не могу, если мы... Если потом он говорит, что мы встали на их сторону. Ох, ёптить, это что такое?
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. This was Cindy the Scar. The lieutenant crouches.
Looks like it. Yes. This is still fresh. And blood.
Heavy fuel oil. Isn't that flat? The fuel oil catches fire.
Секретное задание.
Luminous hiss. A bright orange flash across the surface of the letters. Black smoke rises from the burning message. The lieutenant has taken a small step back. He looks at your...
Let's go to the map.
Slowly, the flames subside, the fuel burning out. The air still smells.
Так, а что у нас откатилось в книжном магазине? Проверка или нет? Охраняемая дверь. Не откатилась. Пойдем проверим.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands.
Почему недоступно, блин, когда она откатится-то? Ну и ладно. Так, погнали тогда на остров какой-то. Так, ну, чё мы пройти-то сможем? Тут нет? Нет. Ну, чё ты там застрял? Ёптить, а? Ловушки стоят. А эта лодка не перевернутая была? Чё-то я не помню.
Officer, what happened?
She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were close.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Hilaire. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
So you're a killer?
Чё это?
Good, I guess. I guess. Better than being dead. Hi. I guess you are. I understand that's how it goes. Of course. Can I help you with something? That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead. If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull, just got it nice and yellow, and...
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a deal.
Aye.
The crow's feet disappear from the corners of her eyes as she smiles at you.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
Так, ну пойдем. А, мы отсюда не можем, да, спуститься? Так, ну и чё? А, лодка вон там стоит, а я думал, она про эту говорит. Да, логично.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. Remember what the nitpicker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
What? Fine. Let's blast Sad Effect.
Sad effect.
Грусть FM.
Specializing in slow rock songs. You seem to know its frequency by heart.
Ну, поплыли. И он реально с магнитофоном стоит. Чё за кадр? Вообще это выглядит как будто вот финал уже, они сейчас уплывают в закат и идут титры. Но, блин, если они поплыли на остров что-то выяснять, смотреть траекторию, то... Не знаю даже.
boat comes to a slow stop. In the silence, a sputter of wings. There is very little wind here today. The ghost is standing still. You look at your arm. Let's go.
Так, что у нас тут есть? Импровизированный мост. Какая-то цепь тянется куда-то в океан. Что это за звук такой был? Так, тут какой-то... Что это? Домик? Так, мысль. Лестница выглядит древней. Ой, как Кима бесоебит. Когда-то давно по ней бежали солдаты. Ким, с тобой нормально все? А, это не домик. Много топлива вытекло из бочки. Так, что тут у нас?
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface. The flock of quail departs. On the islet, there is almost no, like a silent orchestra tuning of great importance to the few who attend.
Опять эти ваши запады, востоки.
Yes? I have. Is that why we're stopping?
Так, что у нас тут есть? Лестница. Здесь не подняться, лестница сломана. А тут, наверное, внутрь вход. Пойдем посмотрим, что снизу еще. То я сейчас опять зайду куда-нибудь. Шины просто разваливаются на куски, им лет 50, не меньше. Все? Это и все? Я думал, можно еще вправо куда-то пройти. Тогда пойдем в домик.
Indian Citizens Militia. It's the official name of the
Sounds an awful lot like.
It does. The RCM made it. It's impossible to say. It was chaos after the war. The name was good for getting people to join us. Marshall West was most
nice political thought. A mediocre athlete would pant from dragging around his body on a busted crutch. But not you. You're thinking about politics with blood dripping down your thigh.
You are in a right-wing police force. Those times are long gone.
Пойдем внутрь, посмотрим, что там. Как-то тут страшновато. Понятно, надо обойти. Располагалось орудие. Какое-то орудие. Это что такое? Лестница обрушилась. Обойти можно как-нибудь? Какой-то двигатель или мотор. Генератор микросети.
With makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
А, у нас же топливо есть, да? Ой, нифига себе, вот для чего нам канистра нужна была.
Dark brown, viscous. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old war.
That should do it.
Найдите топливо для генератора.
The tank is far from full, but the
downstairs somewhere.
Так, хорошо, идем дальше. Книги в основном фантастика, исторические романы. Тарелки, испачканные соусом и сажей, кухня выживальщика, расставлены свечи, одеяло защищает от ветра, разбросаны книги и журналы.
Serialized fantastique and detectives popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife, among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories. You find a magazine cathodique.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Концептуализация нам нужна. Давай-ка мы шмотку какую-нибудь наденем. С концептуализацией. Раз. Два. Координация. Ну вот и все. Еще разок.
Soft covers, serialized fantasy. Oh yes, under the bed there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory. That is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Uzia. It's not exact.
Uzia. Humanitarian sciences.
Приз самый уморительный.
Not a lot of critical
Кто-то
theory
там.
around in Radashad West anymore.
Your incendiary remark has failed to provoke. It's making a strong comeback. After all,
That one student did have some, yes. Still
Может, это тот самый студент? Стрелял, в смысле. У него там тоже что-то подобное было. Вот они об этом как раз и говорят.
next to the big pile of frivolous entertainment covering them.
Whoever has lived here, they have some education and a certain set.
Interesting.
Кровать, да? Кровать же это.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles
Я думал,
of
в углу на стопках книг лежит кто-то, какой-то чувак. Я его не увидел.
caracal blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain. Thick at
You know, officer, you can rest here. if you
Новое
want.
задание: отдохните в наблюдательной вышке.
You could use some rest for what's ahead.
Ну
You
давай
face the
отдохнем.
concrete wall. There's less light there, and you didn't realize how tired you were. Your body is still. The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. You feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch.
Сейчас будет прикольно, если я отдохну, у меня откатится та проверка в книжном магазине, но вернуться мы, наверное, не можем уже. Или можем. Сейчас посмотрим. Она же нам сказала, что там топлива в лодке не так много, чтобы туда-сюда кататься. Так, а где Ким? Потемнело прям тут. Ну, вставай, ёптить. Так, теперь я не могу. Тут что-то еще висит, но теперь я не могу это осмотреть. Лейтенанта здесь нет. Поищи снаружи на пляже. Дверь все еще здесь закрыта. Это почему-то кажется странным, войти не получится. Да. В смысле, а как мне теперь пройти? Я не могу нацелиться на дверь. Что за прикол? А тут я могу спуститься? Нет, не могу. Так, стопэ. Это что за прикол? А, можно обойти, да? О, заебись. Можно обойти. Так, тут есть дверь какая-то. Блин, я уже думаю, что за прикол? Может, это ему снится? Почему через ту дверь я не мог выйти? Вот что интересно. Так. А спуститься я могу куда-нибудь? Тут могу? Не похоже. О, тут могу. Спустись к цепи, там что-то есть. Какой? Где цепь? Где ты цепь увидел, чел? Тут? А, вон там что-то есть. Войди в воду. Чё? Ага. На воде видны ее следы. Ее? Ее это чьи? Дальше? А, прикольно, тут можно... Ты кто? Долорес Дэй? Ну да, нам, короче, это снится, походу. Что это за прикол такой? Переход по воде к какому-то городишке?
No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us, it's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Ravachol and you. And you have to be alone. It's not. But... I don't know why I said but. There is no but. I can't answer your other questions.
No, don't say it. Don't beg. It will only make her go. Yes, somewhere hidden among the options popping up in your nervous system.
Да ладно, успех? 42% успех? Нифига себе, у меня там с 70 нифига не получалось.
With your feet trembling from the steps you took, tepid and fearful, she is not kissing you back. Her hand does not return the grip. Nothing, just pillows against you. Unresponsive, but the moment is ending. She is going to move her face away from yours. Trying hard not to look at you. When she withdrew, and you helped brother, you should put me in front of a firing squad. I have no words for how I failed you.
No, Harry. Not yet. There is one more thing you have to see. I'm pregnant. Of course not. I terminated yours. Don't you remember? Now, go ahead.
Как-то это жестоко.
Ask me more questions. Let's talk about something.
No, this has to. More questions. Ask more.
Nothing. I have to go.
I was wrong. You don't have power over her anymore. You shouldn't have said that. I am wrong about everything. You should go on without me.
That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and I'm happier for it. And I won't see you, but you will. Oh, Harry. This is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times. I'm suffocatingly beautiful. And young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum. Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death or war. See you tomorrow.
Да, все-таки это был сон. Ну, что поделать. Так, вот теперь мы просыпаемся. Вставай, вставай.
You're up quick. How was your sleep? Okay.
Так, что тут еще висит? Какой-то шарф. Зимний шарф из армейских. Чего-то там. Тут что лежит? Футболка. Так, пойдем посмотрим, что тут у нас. Взрывозащитная дверь. Так, а мы можем сюда пройти, как во сне это было? Люк заклинило. Где-то внизу далеко-далеко шумит вода. Да, мы, видимо, можем выйти. Сейчас сначала туда попробуем. Если дверь закрыта, то, ну, что поделать.
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open. All right, I retract my statement.
Откройте взрывозащитную дверь.
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable.
Задание: откройте дверь, а вариантов хотя бы толкануть ее как-то нет. Может, с другой стороны она должна открыться. Пойдем тогда сюда. Тут что такое?
Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard. The keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been...
The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. I think, yes. Let's see. That one. The emergency open.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A sharp
Дверь открылась, нифига себе.
shines in.
Ничего себе, она долго так открывается.
Sudden wave of anxiety makes your...
After you. Don't be. I have a gun.
Так, я хочу сначала... Что это такое? Ага. Хочу сначала сюда выйти. Могу я сюда выйти? Посмотрю, что здесь находится в реальном мире, а не во сне. Может, там что-то полезное будет? А может и нет. Амбразура. А как он во сне сюда пришел, если он это место никогда не видел? А? Хороший вопрос, да? Так, что-нибудь есть тут? Там ничего нет. О, можно наверх подняться, походу.
A strange feeling looking at the water. Maybe you should with a bottle in your hand. Yes, cold and still. Yes. No, do not think of that. Not now. Not this time.
Так, ну туда я, наверное, не пройду. Попробуем тут еще подняться. Еще одна канистра, да? Прикольно. То есть ту, что мы нашли канистру, она либо запасная, либо может для чего-то другого предназначена.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the
B triple prime. This looks like a good place.
Точка Б.
a single-person mattress, modern, civilian use, and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette. The silhouette of a tobacco picker. Contemporary Revacholians prefer Druan, a local blend from the southern islands, or Astra, the legendary cigarette from Grad. Diamatiri is favored by...
The smoker is a clean person. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside. Keeps it tidy. Prefers to come out here to smoke.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you. The springs screech as you lean on the mattress. Trepidation. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting, 1 kilometer across the water. The red chimney and collapsed rear wall of the 4-story tenement in front of the whirling in rags. A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire, Capeside apartments. The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop.
Do you have a line of sight to do?
More than that.
I can see it. Through the scope of a rifle. The shooter would be prone. I think we have it. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Affirmative.
Why? We don't go everywhere in the 1,000-meter radius of the crime scene. That's not procedure.
He looks north, over the fortification. Then
Where?
he does not answer. Just he feels uncomfortable.
We should move now.
Срочно нужно идти, говорит. Ну пойдем. Через ту дверь, да, пойдем мы? Спиной ты чувствуешь чей-то взгляд, за тобой наблюдает, но откуда не ясно. Ой, у меня уже самого мурашки по коже. Сейчас еще он нас подстрелит. Или она. Пойдем через ту дверь, значит. Очередная загрузочка, их же так мало. Можно парочку вставить, да? Так, и куда нам идти? Что там? Повсюду видны небольшие белые цветочки. Резиновая лодка сдута, порвана. Так, там кто-то сидит, да? Ты кто, дядя? Тетя? Дезертир. У него винтовка?
His eyesight is sharp.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. It's a triangle.
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic.
В Самаре изготовлено, неплохо.
No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get it?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyal commune. Military aid.
Put it down now.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. It's out of bullets.
А, это он в капюшоне, что ли, сидит? А мне показалось, у него волосы просто длинные. Хотя на картинке не такие уж они и длинные.
Like an amputated, he stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. The old man pulls back the hood of his plastic cape and looks up into the sky. No reply. You went in too fast. Over-eager. His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels, surprisingly, the rifle's in a shabby state. Like a crutch that's on the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burned into the wood. Triangle.
Jacketed, military-grade ammunition. Stable in flight. Good for hitting something that's very, very far away. Worn. Personalized even. Looks like this weapon has seen a lot of use, hasn't it, sir?
No response from the rifles in a shabby state.
А, это я уже читал.
The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It can be used against him to get a confession in time.
Real music. Real. Proyectul.
You need to address that remark.
The job of a bougie dog. It is the anthem of the world revolution. In Grad, they sang brave children, favorites of history. How did it go? Something about shooting rabbits. I don't.
He waves erratically with his hand, annoyed that he can't remember. A little...
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross.
Lilianovich.
Of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war.
The commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the army of the... I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. 43 years. No. I've been on other islands too. I was an resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. How does anyone survive?
Now hold on there.
supplies, vegetables, collect running water. It's the life of a duck.
How is your health?
I've been throwing up blood since winter.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65.
The RCM can provide medical services.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities.
Also have jewelry.
I have been running out of that stuff. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in. It's black. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain. I don't even know.
Короче, опять куча бессмысленных разговоров. Скажет он нам, стрелял он или нет?
No wonder. All your minds are rotting from the radio waves. It's disgusting. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things.
He nods slowly. Then another tremor. He looks away to the sea and lets out a cough.
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for strength.
There were posters.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Colt, and others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to... At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. The propaganda bunker.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment too. Made broadcasts, I think. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. I do. They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack. I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pig,
Кролики,
rabbit,
псы, свинота. Свинота.
men without ideals are only animals.
The old man looks across the water at the city, the ruins, the motorways.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International. Take me
Понятно,
to the
короче,
prison.
на своей волне.
I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the firelight.
I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And you could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovians the second is all a reaction to take hold. You haven't seen it. The face of who you serve.
And this was... when?
May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world. Huddled on the floor, the artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the
A terrible shame, still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what.
I ran. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers underground, like the wicked airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned.
Some kind of great terror, worse than you've ever seen. The old man does not say more. Those black eyes of his keep.
It's not an island, what? It's a defensive fortification of the 43 years and 10 months. It's too long. It's not how a
What have you been doing during...
hiding, fishing.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be.
Always waiting. For her.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution. Good. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The historic opportunity for our revolution has passed. There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
Самообладание.
What have I used it for? I've used...
Here we go. A trailer.
Killing people.
It's a gun. That's what they're for. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after?
There is no after the war.
So he's continued killing after Oscar. Going straight. No euphemism. No, no. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make it. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
What did I just say?
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the...
I don't want to tell you.
And why did you think that was a good idea?
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it. You're in.
Oh yes, that one.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the...
Exhausted with proof. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it...
You had direct visibility. They are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top floor. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dudus. Too long.
ready to die.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Just one thing remains unclear. The rifle does not seem to have a scope.
Forget about your stupid fucking scope.
He lost it. He just doesn't know where it is. Forget it. Push on.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain. You're lost, what? You're lost. petty bourgeois law.
A drop of blood in the tear into him again. Pile it on him.
Not a lot of guns around that use military.
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistols. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons?
Damn, he saw you. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Telling things up like this.
Murder.
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells. There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. And nowhere else. Nowhere in... Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Classia's bedroom. Now, you got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no model. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are?
Show me the soles, please, Mr. Dallas.
Fucking imbecile.
The maker is called sensory. These are not the unusual horizontal patterned soles you saw.
The size fits, but not the sole.
Sire,
Да.
he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
Racking those brains. Desperate to report something back to your masters. They must have...
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silence suddenly. Some straight... You've almost got him. Just the last little push.
Damn Maybells. So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away. Classier. With the victim.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood. Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. Got your attention. Now you stop eating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now...
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less.
The lieutenant raises his right hand, while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them. In faith. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death. Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white. And so the...
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing?
Yes.
And you are looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot
The old man.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive.
Короче, понятно, у него с головой не все в порядке. Вот и все.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand.
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle?
A rifle scope?
And if you don't like it?
Yes. Think of it as a form.
He will not stop now. These dialectical materialist types never do. Exploit it.
A tragic comedy.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in the game. The familiar put, put, put of hatred.
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean, and because of the racists, everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the pump full of steroids and Radio Revachon 92. Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III. Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class. Intense, like animals, like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on a yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are...
Блин, кто это все придумывал? Я вообще офигею. Читаю и офигеваю.
That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only in the 30s.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center. What was that about? Steroids? There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people. Might be worth investigating.
Yes, steroids. A racist. What is my opinion? You think the rich man has enough? No. The rich man's looking at real estate.
Ah, yes. But he was there. Why was he there if you can't have an opinion?
Old? An alcoholic? Fascist? You're obsessed with your own features. Because it's all you have left. The rich man took everything, and he left you here, gesturing at your swollen face. The rich man rules over you. Glad. It's all gone.
Officer, are we sure? We could maybe get more.
The old man looks at his rifle.
Them. Fucking. I didn't like... Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying it, and I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out. Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark.
As the Fell building on the coast.
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me.
And beautiful.
That.
How could you see what she looked like? You said
the sun came up. Her hair was like cobwebs. She smoked more fags and snorted a line of wood. Her passport and ticket to be here.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the end.
Yes, after she'd gone. It was a submersible.
Sloppy. We should have gotten her to tell us about this.
No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to Falm. I did. She had a face like an archipelago with those birthmarks. And a body hard, and I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital.
You could tell she was a spook? From
She had different color hair on the photo. And glasses.
The bruises. You can't make that out in a scope.
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
It quickly comes to you.
Супер.
Oh, yes.
Everything in him fills with impossible longing, all at once.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip.
Good for listening in, too. For hearing the moaning and the snorts.
Like that, too. Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass. I've been through all of Martinet. Yes, that, too. The things they did in that little room. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me.
Those two, you hear the familiar scribble of the...
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing out.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her.
The lieutenant nods at you in...
Where is she? That black lady. I haven't seen her there for days. Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof.
Midtown, across the Bay of Revachol, the oceanic wind washes 40-story towers. Above them, Lucan's central aerodrome, a cocoon suspended. On the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and he knew she knows. She was looking at the island, figuring the old man has fallen silent, staring at your feet. The burnt logs in the fire are moist from the sea air.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
The sum of all the erratic movements. The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken.
Your wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officer
Закон путника? Что?
You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beat pupils are dilated too.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat. Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland, while the...
There's something you're not getting here, that he...
Who watches over him there, while I come back for you?
Lillian. You could ask her, maybe.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world.
No, listen. Listen now.
No, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here.
This world. What are you talking about?
The wind is cold. Your skin is crawling suddenly.
Так, и чё? Мы его отвозим в участок и возвращаемся за Кимом? Или все, на этом все закончилось? Или не закончилось? Что это такое? Что это за богомол? Фазмид? Ни хрена себе он здоровый. Это галюны, да, какие-то?
ghost.
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you. You feel your legs shaking under you, and your gun hand move to your holster. You feel the lieutenant's hand on your
I can see it.
Thank God. If he can put that name, it's really there. Spinning slowly, in absolute silence. It's lit.
А если бы мы не помогли... тому мужику с этими фазмидами, мы бы его увидели сейчас или нет? Автосохранение.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from his head, like reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss. Like a real
Красная, да ну нафиг. 92% было, ну вы чё, ребята?
The invertebrate reacts with uncanny speed.
Where? Where did it go?
He shakes his head in silence, an expression on his face.
No.
However hard you squint, you can't make...
I tried, but it was moving too fast, and I didn't get the ampoule in right. And damn it, I believe my eyes. It was there.
What now?
Our suspect's not looking so good. We should check him over. It looks like it has some kind of nest there.
In the reeds, where the phasmid was hiding, you see a little flash of...
Снайперский прицел мы нашли. О, неплохо.
What is it? What do you want from me?
Something is very wrong with him now.
Mr. Dora?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black, like an addict of some terrible substance. The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility.
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first.
He stares into the reeds. Your words.
I lost.
He turns his eyes to the reeds.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of... This side is a T9, Mr. Voss.
Silence. Nothing. Just dull. The last embers have gone out. The plastic cape flaps around his... The blacks of his eyes are receding. The strength is all gone out of him. Just frail.
Okay, now, we should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe.
Так, и что нам надо делать по заданиям там? Возвращаемся после лодки, чтобы вернуться на материк. Ну пойдем, вернемся. Да. Неожиданные повороты тут такие, конечно, с этими фазмидами. Зачем мы двигатель-то этот включили? А, мы, наверное, двигатель включали, чтобы потом дверь открылась. Вот оно что. Ну что, ёпт. Еще полчаса будем грузиться.
The skiff is swaying.
Let's. We are done here.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get hit. But for the sound of conversation on the water, you reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Кто нас ждет на берегу? Так, этой чувихи тут уже нет. Кто ты?
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're
Whatever this is, it is completely This is the man with sunglasses from the whirling in rags. But where are his sunglasses?
Hello, Trent Heidelstein, I believe.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicomar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left, special consultant Trent Hyde.
Hi.
We've come to
Ну я так и знал, да, что они в компашке нашей.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall him.
Ari, we want to help you. Tom?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to... My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a mere...
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say?
What does he have to say for himself? He left shit kid. What an interesting moniker.
God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die.
It wasn't like...
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we? Are you sure? So you haven't been telling everyone what a boring cop you are? And that you should kill yourself? People say you've been out of your mind. I asked around. You.
Maybe you've deserved it.
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went. Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look safe at all. There was a giant I.O. graffito in front of the building. I don't know. It had shit kid written all over it. Guilty as charged. I heard you'd lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was, and it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
I didn't lie to you. No one lies to you. You were so fucked up on booze you couldn't recognize your own partner. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trent.
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors. He talks without slurring. He can drive a boat. He's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete...
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know.
Interesting.
Yes, interesting. I have my theories.
Да дай прочитаю, твою мать, ты чё гонишь, что ли? Как мне читать твою речь? Блять, вообще, пиздец, уже второй или третий раз даже, я не знаю. классно. Супер игра, спасибо.
Psychotraumatic amnesia, Trant? I can go for that. Shit kid is a broken man. Always has been. I keep my shit together. Also, I know a person can't wipe their own mind, however traumatic.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out. Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drugs.
So you don't remember?
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten deep.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained. Look at the ruins, the neon, listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police, hardwired to the free market. You just need it for it to end.
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in a major crimes unit? Is he?
He's not a creature, and he is able to do work.
Leadership, now.
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. No, now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to your motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand.
Пусть падает, ладно.
Picks it up and gives it back to you, slippery.
Что значит получен предмет? А, дает. То есть надо было местами поменять. Что-то вы неправильно все излагаете.
And your gun.
As if having your badge and gun. What is it with all these material objects?
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone. Well, you let the suspect escape. Classy as something. Because you were too drunk to assess.
We've read the report. Lieutenant Kitsuhagis. We know.
Oh, well, if she was nice. I'm not even gonna get into the for the fact that you're Everclear's little peony now. Doing I don't know what compared to the 8 people who were gunned down. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vet. He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot, not once, but twice. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Don't make this harder for you.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He thinks of apologizing.
You've spent the week with him.
Well, the drinking, the lost gun, also losing his badge, that's all true. Then there's the boring cop issue. Despite all the obvious and almost grotesque mannerisms and sartorial choices, he still insists. It's worrying, especially in light of his political views. Detective Dubois
Вот засранец.
as you may know, a fascist, a far-right woman hater, and of course, also in other still, he is also a Mazovian socio-economist who believes in liquidating the ruling class. How he reconciles these two points of view, I do not know. But
Он тоже, что ли, шпионом был?
But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best. He can talk human beings into telling him anything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent, well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke. Which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vigman.
Okay, he did.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case. And he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and he apprehended a straggler who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution. A colossal stick insect, 3 meters tall. It's on the island, camouflage as the reed. I know this sounds fantastic, but I'm a 4 times decorated lieutenant of the RCM. I do not make up encounters with cryptids to spite.
I don't doubt you, Lieutenant. If you say it was the Insulindian Phasmid, then it was the Insulindian Phasmid. By God, is it...
The killer did not seem to be aware of the Phasmid's presence, exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia. He fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So
We could order a search. I could get people from EPIS on the island, entomologists, doctors. There must be signs of it in the reeds. If we found the Insulindian Phasmid, well, that would be apt.
There, you need to make your case now. The floor is all yours. He prepared it well.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in a boat.
the body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry.
Still, good work with the missing.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
Lilianovich. Revolutionary matronym. Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
Jealousy. I thought this Lilianovich was
a strange psychosexual fascination. The result of spending all this time in solitude. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died, right on the island, and 2 officers on the scene. But
it's a clean window.
Oh, it's way more than that.
Get over yourself. You're not a perfectionist. You're a cop and you did a good job. And none of this can hide the smell of booze on the wind.
God damn it. It is bad. Even you can smell it.
Female?
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female.
Incredible. Were there...
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. Must be robust if it can move a helmet with its limbs.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside.
Incredible.
Серьезно, мы сейчас будем говорить про фазмида этого? Вы гоните? Просто большая часть разговора это фазмид.
I tried to, but I don't.
We can still work. Cop discovers new species in there. I know a good guy in La Majeste, but only after.
It needs to be white coats and glassware for this fly.
In the mist-colored distance, oh, you're doing good here. Quit while you're ahead? Or no?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and sold the model. So I have...
Honestly, anything that ends this trial...
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is...
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody.
Now you will finally get to know who you are. The man looks wet, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Ну, в принципе, я уже узнал.
Are you? Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher, right?
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
Harry, it explains everything. The running around.
Странные усы.
Some of your more old school social views.
Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's not.
Oh, she lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road.
Tabernacle? It's on the way over.
Fine, if we're gonna drop it.
She and her husband were conducting the search. They should know as soon as possible.
Watch out or she'll faint.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Trump brought his mother care.
The great district hums in the falling rain. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite. Torson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Really? Nick Scott-Lee looks up from the list. I hear he's quite unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price just...
Wonderful. Then can we please just...
О, нифига себе, жмут руки. А, так он с нами не едет, да? Или едет? Я не понял. Надо было все-таки спросить, что с Кимом теперь. Чем он дальше займется. Там была возможность задать такой вопрос. Но я не стал этого делать. А, ему прям даже помогают, сам не может идти. Ну что ж, промотать нельзя, да, титры? Тогда я на этом закончу. Нифига себе, я аж офигел, блин. Да, классная игра, классное музыкальное сопровождение, сюжет. Но, блин, вот эти вот растянутые диалоги ни о чем лишние, они меня местами напрягали очень сильно. И эти загрузки, а в целом-то игра классная. Ну, и что? Что я могу сказать? Спасибо за просмотр, на этом все. С диско Elysium я покончил. И на следующей неделе выходит Кена, так что ждите, подключайтесь, смотрите. Спасибо всем.